Hello everyone, I am Arushi from EB15 and today I am going to explain my topic cryptography. So what is cryptography? Cryptography is actually a technique of securing information and communication through use of codes so that only those person for whom the information is intended to can understand it and process it, thus preventing the unauthorized access to information. The prefix crypt means hidden and suffix graphy means writing. So here is a small flowchart explaining the process cryptography. The message exchange during cryptography involves the following steps. Sender side. Using the encryption algorithm, the message is converted into unreadable format. The message in unreadable form is generally called a ciphertext. Then the ciphertext is sent to the receiver over the communication channel. Since the message is encrypted, the attackers cannot read the messages, and at the receiver's side, using the decryption algorithm, the message is again converted into a readable form and the receiver can read the message. Now there are various types of cryptography. So the first is symmetric key cryptography. So in symmetric key cryptography, in this technique, both sender and receiver uses a common key to encrypt and decrypt the messages. The secret key is known only to the sender and the receiver, and this is called a secret key cryptography. Before starting the communication, a sender and receiver shares the secret key, and the secret key is shared through some external means. At sender side, the sender encrypts the message using his copy of the key. The ciphertext is then converted and sent to the receiver over the communication channel, and at the receiver side, the receiver decrypts the ciphertext using the copy of the key, and after the decryption, the message converts back into the readable format. The second is asymmetric key cryptography. It involves the three steps, and the first step is at the sender side. So at the sender side, the message is sent using the receiver's public key, and it is encrypted actually by the receiver's public key, and the public key of receiver is publicly available and it is known to everyone. And encryption converts the message into the ciphertext. The ciphertext can only be decrypted using the receiver's private key. The ciphertext is sent to the receiver over the communication channel, and at the last step at the receiver side, the receiver decrypts the ciphertext using the private key, and the private key of the receiver is known only to the receiver. Using the public key, it is not possible for anyone to determine a receiver's private key, and after the decryption, the ciphertext converts back into the readable format. The last type of cryptography is a hash function. The hash function is a unique identifier for any given piece of content. It is also a process that takes plain text data of any size and converts it into unique ciphertext of a specific length. Hash function provides protection to password storage, and it is one of the main applications of the hash function that instead of storing password in a clear, mostly all login process store the hash values of the passwords in the file. And the password file generally consists of a table which consists of user ID and HP. So we are studying cryptography. So what is actual purpose of it? There are four features for which we study cryptography. And the first is confidentiality. Information can only be accessed by the person for whom it is intended, and no other person except him or her can access it. Second is integrity. Information cannot be modified in storage of transition between sender and intended receiver without any addition to information being detected. Non-repudiation. The creator or sender of information cannot deny his or her intention to send information at a later stage. And the last is the authentication. The identities of sender and receiver are confirmed, as well as destination or origin of information is confirmed. But every process or every technology has disadvantages too. So let's discuss some disadvantages. Strongly encrypted, authentic, and digitally signed information can be difficult to access even for the legitimate user at the crucial time of decision making. The network or the computer system can be attacked and rendered non-functional by an intruder. High availability. One of the fundamental aspects of information security cannot be ensured through the use of cryptography. Other methods are need to guard against the threats such as denial of service or complete breakdown of information system. Another fundamental need of information security of selective access control cannot be realized through the use of cryptography. Administrative controls and procedures are required to be exercised for the same. And the last is cryptography does not guard against the vulnerabilities and threats that emerge from a poor design of system, protocols, and procedures. These need to be fixed through proper design and setting up a defensive infrastructure. Also, this technology is very expensive and comes through a lot of money and time. Now let's discuss our difference between the symmetric and asymmetric encryption. Symmetric encryption uses a single key that's need to be shared among the people who need to receive the message, while asymmetric encryption uses a pair of public and private key to encrypt and decrypt messages when communicating. Symmetric encryption is an old technique, while asymmetric encryption is relatively new. Asymmetric encryption was introduced to complement the inherent problems of sharing key in symmetric encryption model and eliminating the need to share the key between a public-private keys. And asymmetric encryption takes relatively more time than the symmetric encryption. So what is the future of cryptography? The first is elliptic curve cryptography, which has been invented, but its advantages and disadvantages are not yet fully known. ECC allows to perform encryption and decryption in drastically lesser time, thus allowing a higher amount of data to be passed and usually with equal security. And quantum computation is one of the another technology, which is a relatively new phenomena. While modern computers use data in a binary format, which is 0 and 1, which can be stored, while the quantum computers store data using the quantum superposition of multiple states. These multiple valued states are stored in quantum bits or qubits. This allows the computation of numbers to be several orders of magnitude faster than the traditional transistor processes. Thank you.